Mr. Dodaro, could you read this headline for the room?
California's EDD unemployment system disaster, predictable fiasco.
Thank you. Can you read that for me, Mr. Smith?
It says the North Carolina Unemployment Agency is a broken system.
A broken system. North Carolina Unemployment Agency, a broken system.
The unemployment insurance system needs to be fixed.
I could not agree more. So let's talk about that and how we can fix it. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to support getting Americans the help that they need. More than 1 in 5 911 calls involve mental health or substance use crises. That amounts to millions of calls per year. To keep these Americans safe, we need to connect them to health care. 1 in 4 fatal law enforcement encounters ends the life of someone with mental illness. We cannot improve public safety without giving our communities a better response system for mental health crises. Workers are losing out on nearly $300 billion in wages every year. Companies stop incentivizing workers to stay because they don't need to. They're stuck. Non-competes also drag down the entire economy, hurting even those of us who aren't covered by them. Everyone is harmed when wages are suppressed, innovation is stifled, and competition is prevented. I'm thrilled that the Federal Trade Commission is ending this toxic practice. Banning non-competes will promote the ideals our country was founded on: open markets, economic mobility, and the right to control one's own life. What these headlines show, of course, is that, as you said, state unemployment agencies have long had problems getting help to people who need it and preventing our tax dollars from ending up in the wrong hands. When the pandemic first began, we needed to deliver relief quickly. But due to chronic underinvestment in technology and systems at states that administer programs, we saw the same problems with waste, fraud, and abuse that we've seen for decades under Democratic and Republican presidents in blue states and red states. It is our duty to protect the safety and well-being of everyone who calls our country home. And fulfilling that duty starts with understanding the people that we represent, especially and including members of the LGBTQI+ community. I rise to address how our government can address the issues facing our AAPI community. Supporting Asian and Pacific Island Americans requires recognizing the diversity within those communities. Inadequate data limit our ability to serve all Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Federal data on AAPI people fail to capture differences across ethnic backgrounds. Grouping all AAPI people into one super-category erases important distinctions in cultural traditions and lived experiences. In California, anti-AAPI hate crimes are up 177%. But some communities experience these threats more acutely. I'm leading efforts to fund community-based solutions to anti-AAPI hate crimes. But making these tools even more effective requires data that identify at-risk groups. Official data must guide our efforts to keep our AAPI neighbors safe. My question is, why don't we fix this?
Well, I think it requires some leadership on the part of the Congress and the Labor Department. You know, like a lot of these programs that where the federal government's relying on the state and local governments, they give them a lot of discretion. And when times are good, unemployment's low, you know, they don't get a lot of attention until these problems come up.
So here's how I think about this. When someone sees when someone has $1 and they lose a dime of it, they think, shucks. But when someone has $100 and they lose $10, they're like, a little angry, and it just keeps going up, and now we're in the billions and trillions. So I would love to have your continued pressure on the Department of Labor to use all of the funding that Congress provided in the American Rescue Plan to actually modernize UI, because I'm trying to add up where that $2 billion from the American Rescue Plan has gone, and it does not seem to have all been deployed and spent to improve these programs. States across the country are criminalizing health care for trans youth and revoking individual liberties for gay, lesbian, and bisexual Americans. Congress has the power to correct these injustices, but for too long, we have been part of the problem. By ignoring the need for high quality, reliable data on LGBTQI plus communities, we've been unprepared to deliver solutions for all Americans. Information is power, and reliable, high quality data can help care providers identify and close health inequities for the LGBTQI plus community. It can help provide better support in schools for kids who are LGBTQI plus, who experience mental health problems at much higher rates than their peers. And it can help us improve our immigration system as we process claims for asylum by those fleeing discrimination in their home countries. LGBTQI plus individuals are among the most vulnerable migrants and refugees at our borders. They have legal rights to asylum and to legal rights to humane treatment.